Part two. All right. So the camera froze, so I just started over. I'm not going to redo the whole video. We're just going to splice them together. But the idea there again is that as you increase kinetic energy, the particles are going to move around more frequently, and so they're going to be expanding a little bit. So kind of think about it even in the terms of a classroom. If people are just walking around the room, okay, cool. Well, we're going to be able to move past each other, etc., 6 feet apart. But if they're moving around extremely frequently, we're going to, number one, have a lot more collisions because people are, not as coordinated as we hope we are in some cases. So we're going to have a lot more collisions, and we're also going to likely see a little bit of the people kind of spreading out, expanding a little bit to essentially try to reduce those collisions. So they also, too, have a direct relationship. So the idea there being that if you increase the temperature of something, the volume is going to expand a little bit. And that kind of, a good example of that is tires. My car has sensors within the tires that tell me what the pressure of the tires is, or if they're low or high or whatever. And I always notice that in the winter time, it's constantly telling me that my tire pressure is low, even though when I actually check it in the middle of the day, it's really not. It's normal. But based on the temperature, it causes the gas to kind of contract and expand a little bit. So if it expands, then it would actually expand inside the tire, spread the tire out a little bit, and fill the volume. If it decreases, it's going to shrink the tire a little bit. So there is kind of, you guys may have seen, I believe it was a question in the KMT packet on the back page, which most of you did, but a few of you I think were like, I don't want to do this, so I'm not going to print out that page. But anyways, I think it's the last question. It's one of the questions. Talks about why might it be important to test your tire pressure before starting a road trip, and the idea there being, of course, that with friction on the road, especially if it's a summer road trip, with friction on the road, you're going to increase the temperature of the gas particles in the tire. That causes them to want to expand, and if your tire isn't as strong as it should be, then the gas particles are going to win that battle, expand out of the tire, which causes tires to blow out. So that's why there's a lot more tire blowouts in the summer, because people tend to right at the beginning of summer, refill all the tire in their the air in their tires, and then they end up driving on them for long distances. That causes them to expand even more, and then they blow out. So definitely kind of a life idea there. Think about that. Realize that these things are going to do that. Another thing, no, unrelated, never mind. All right, so the second video we are going to be watching is, well, now the third, because I had to stop the first one and start the second one, whatever, you get the idea. So the second activity that you're going to have is going to be to watch the next video where I'm going to essentially introduce the 2 major gas laws. And then within those 2 major gas laws, we'll run some calculations, some practice, etc. And then that'll be one of your activities to actually do a little bit of practice and submit that this week. All right, so I will talk to you guys soon. And remember that for our class honors, we have office hours on Tuesday from 11 to 12. I mean, I'm there from 10 to 12. So I think I'm doing 11 to 12. The second half of it is our video office hours, okay? So if you want to log in and ask me a question that way, then feel free to. All right, thanks.